These are the faces of young men who have helped put Kansas on the map in college basketball. As you walk this Hall of Fame, you are walking into a past filled with glory. Now that past becomes present as we bring you Legends of the Phog. Welcome to the Phog. What other place in the universe could sell out an exhibition game for basketball in September? Kansas can, because of the history, because of the passion, because of the men who have come back here to Allen Fieldhouse today for Legends of the Phog. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Dave Armstrong. A pleasure to work with a legend himself, Max Falkenstein. And Max, this is really like a big family reunion.
It is, Dave. It's all about love and gratitude, and you know, when you, as you just said, when you bring all these people in here and sell out the place in less than 2 weeks, that's incredible. And I think we're going to have a great afternoon.
I think we are too. It's a special day here for Jayhawk basketball fans to see all these guys, many of them who are now playing in the NBA, to come back here. And what a thrill it is for those players as well.
Oh, it is. You know, I've talked to several of them, and they're so excited about being here. And that feeling comes back when you get an opportunity to run through that tunnel one more time.
Well, the legends are here. They're here because they've put trophies up in the mantle. They have won championships, and now they are back to celebrate it all. Legends of the Phog coming up next.
Introducing punch rules for Crown Volkswagen. Anyone wearing black and gold gets punched twice. What? Cannonball punch for anyone wearing purple.
Black one.
Wave the wheat punch for 2 wearing red and blue.
Red one.
Good one. Pick your favorite Volkswagen model at Crown Volkswagen, 3400 South Iowa, or online at crownautomotive.com.
In Kansas, fall is the perfect time for creating healthy family memories. For instance, soak up the fresh air and sunshine at the Eisenhower Presidential Museum in Abilene. Experience the changing colors on a nature outing or enjoy one of the many exciting fall festivals together. Visit travelks.com to learn more about everything Kansas has to offer. I'm Jennifer Getz, Multimedia Specialist at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas, encouraging you to enjoy healthy Kansas recreation.
It's time for a special presentation of Kansas Jayhawk basketball. Legends of the Phog. Kansas basketball on the Jayhawk IMG Sports Network is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas. Independent, member owned. By Crown Automotive. Experience the Crown difference at Crown Toyota, Scion, and Volkswagen. And by Pella Windows and Doors of Kansas. Viewed to be the best. Sellout crowd on hand here at Allen Fieldhouse. Right now, Coach Self is addressing the crowd. Let's listen in.
Many of the retired jerseys are playing here today. But the biggest thing is, to me, it means so much for these guys to come back and be a part of this. And I think it's so important today that you rock this house and show how appreciative you are of all KU's all-time greats. Have fun.
And so we shall. Max, we had the privilege of watching these guys warm up. What a thrill it was for them and for this crowd that never sat down during the warm-ups.
Absolutely. It just was an amazing turnout, and the fans were so warm, and the players are so excited, and Paul Pierce came over and gave us a big hug, you know, and I think he's really excited about being here as outstanding a player as he is.
I don't know how well this will translate to television, but they're playing a video right now. Let's try to listen and watch. at many of these students, and for some, they weren't even alive when Darnell Valentine played, who will play here today. And here they come out onto this court again.
Big O Ostertag leading the charge.
Who was going to argue with him? He's the biggest guy here.
That's right. Oh, this is just amazing. There's such a feeling of warmth in the field house, going both ways. It goes from the fans to the players, and I think they're giving it right back. Here comes Ted.
Ted Owens, who coached here from 1965 through 1983.
Took 2 teams to the Final Four. The 3rd winningest coach all time at the University of Kansas.
Almost 350 wins, a 5-time Big 8 Coach of the Year. And coaching for the blue team, a legend in his own right.
Oh yeah, here's
Larry Brown is coaching, a man who spent just 5 years here, but 5 mercurial years, wouldn't you say, for Kansas? Capped off by that national championship in 1988.
A great team in '86 and the national championship in '88. And the pregame video that they run here before every game, Larry says there's no better place to go to school. There's no better place in America to play basketball.
Larry Brown, who was indoctrinated into the Naismith Hall of Fame in 2002, sitting next to his star player, Danny Manning. Manning and the Miracles from 1988.
Yeah, that brings back some great memories. And Larry, I think Larry's 70 years old, isn't he? And he still wants to coach.
And he still could coach.
He's probably as good a tactician as there is in the game.
Now let's join public address announcer Eric Danielson for the introduction of our players.
Welcome to the campus of the University of Kansas and to Rowland Fieldhouse, home of the Jayhawks. Now for your Legends of the Phog. Coaching the white team, the 3rd winningest coach in Kansas basketball history. Coach of 2 Kansas Final Four teams. Kansas basketball head coach from 1964 to 1983, Ted Owens. Coaching the blue team, an NBA head coach for 23 seasons and an NBA world champion. Coach of 2 Kansas Final Four teams and head coach of the 1988 NCAA national champion Jayhawks. Kansas basketball head coach from 1984 to 1988, Larry Brown.
Selby in the lane, shoots it in. Over to Selby. Selby into that lane against the big guy. There you go, he laid it in. Out to Selby for a 3. Got it. Back out to Marcus. Over here to Selby for an open 3.
He hit it! KU by 1! For the blue team, a 6'2" guard from Baltimore, Maryland. Now with the Memphis Grizzlies, number 32, Josh Selby. Team, a 5'11" guard from Kansas City, Kansas, and a member of the 2003 Final Four team, number 1, Jeff Hawkins.
Marquis for 3. A long 3. This, but jammed in there by Marquis Morris. He slams it. Here's English driving. Blocked by Marquis, out of bounds.
For the blue team, a 6'10" forward from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now with the Phoenix Suns, number 21, Marquis Morris.
Look at the side position. And the key roll behind the back. Moody, he stuffed it. He's fouled. It's out.
This young man right here, I think, is the greatest walk-on player in the history of college basketball.
For the white team, a 6'8" forward from Asheville, North Carolina. The greatest walk-on of all time, number 34, Christian Moody.
Steal by Morning Star. Green and Marcus. They're going into Marcus for a slam. There's Marcus to the goal. One-hand slam. And 1.
Here comes Taylor, 2-on-1 with Collins who peels off. Now to Morris. For the blue team, a 6'9" forward from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now with the Houston Rockets, number 22, Marcus Morris.
Taylor into Ulrich. Another dunk. Marquis got it. Head to Ulrich for a jam.
For the white team, a 6'11" center from Bloomington, Minnesota. Now with the Oklahoma City Thunder, number 45, Cole Aldrich. For the blue team, a 6'7" small forward from Fayetteville, Arkansas. A 10-year professional basketball veteran, number 21, Nick Bradford. forward from Lee's Summit, Missouri, and a member of the 2003 Final Four team, number 42, Jeff Graves. Team, a 6'6" guard from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Now with the Memphis Grizzlies, number 1, Xavier Henry. White team, a 6'9" forward from Dallas, Texas. And now with the Memphis Grizzlies, 0-0, Darrell Arthur.
Robertson, a 3. He hit it. He hit the shot, and the Jayhawks lead. And it looks like KU. DJ Phog got it over to Robertson for a jumper. Good! A three-pointer, and Ryan comes out shooting. Ball knocked away, taken by TJ. He falls down. Lead past Robertson. He lays it in.
For the blue team, a 6'5" guard from St. Charles, Missouri. A 6-year professional basketball veteran, number 4, Ryan Robertson. For the white team, a 6'9" forward from Leavenworth, Kansas. A member of 2 Final Four teams and an NBA World Champion, number 23, Wayne Simeon.
He's in the backcourt, picked up by Julian Wright, and he slams it. This is Kevin Juice double score of the ball. Julian Wright, one-on-one. Stop it! Rush ahead, Julian Wright. Oh, in there, put Julian Wright. Wow.
For the blue team, a 6'8" forward from Chicago, Illinois. Now with the Toronto Raptors, number 30, Julian Wright. Team, a 6'5" forward from Omaha, Nebraska, and a member of the 1986 Final Four team, number 44, Ron Kellogg. Team, a 6'11" center from San Diego, California, an 11-year NBA veteran and NBA World Champion, number 31, Sky Pollard.
No, it's stolen by Billy.
shooting guard from Shreveport, Louisiana, and a 6-year professional basketball veteran, number 12, Billy Thomas.
Jared Hassett, Ostertag, making a nice foul as he scores. Great for Rowe. Here's a steal by Ostertag. Up the court, behind the back dribble, and he stuffed it. Gobert working Ostertag, open in the circle. He shoots it in. Baseline, individually, blocked by Ostertag. Hoiberg got it back and missed.
For the blue team, a 7'2" center from Duncanville, Texas, an 11-year NBA veteran, 00, Greg Ostertag.
Chalmers to Collins, to Jackson, for the jam! Shot by Jackson, misses. Jammed in by Darnell Jackson, and the Oklahoma guy pounding his chest at the Robinson goes inside, a long pass to Jackson. And a lob, and a stop, one-handed by Jackson, and he's fouled. What gets him up here at Allen Fieldhouse?
For the white team, a 6'8" forward from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, now with the Sacramento Kings, number 32, Darnell Jackson. For the blue team, a 6'1" point guard from Wichita, Kansas, a 12-year professional basketball veteran, number 14, Darnell Valentine. For the white team, a 6'6" guard from Kansas City, Missouri, and now with the Indiana Pacers, number 25, Brandon Rush. For the blue team, a 6'10" forward from Fort Dodge, Iowa, and now with the Oklahoma City Thunder, number 4, Nick Collison. For the blue team, a 6'7" guard from Englewood, California, an NBA MVP and world champion with the Boston Celtics, number 34, Paul Pierce. Your Kansas Jayhawks.
Max, I don't know what to say, but wow, we haven't even played yet, and this place is electric.
Oh, that was just absolutely amazing. These kids, they had great video for each one of them, and the fans were just unbelievable in their response to them. Now
the toughest job for Coach Owens and Coach Brown. Who in the world do you start? We'll find out when we come back.
Punch rules for Crown Volkswagen. Anyone wearing black and gold gets punched twice. What?
Well, the atmosphere inside of Allen Fieldhouse is magical, folks. Awesome. And as these coaches now have decided, all right, here are the 5 guys that are going to start. I don't think it matters, but it's kind of fun to see Nick Collison come out, and Cole Aldrich, and Markeith Morris, and even Darnell Valentine.
Darnell's 55 years old, but he's out here going to give it a shot today. And Dave, you'll notice, and the fans will soon find out, that we're using the NBA shooting clock of 24 seconds, which I personally hate, but it doesn't make any difference today. These guys aren't going to wait 35 seconds to put one up anyway.
That'll be too long, 24. I mean, imagine how much fun this is. And I was talking to some of the guys, like Mario Chalmers, and you know, the great shooters from Jeff Hawkins to Xavier Henry. And they love coming back in and seeing this shorter three-point line.
Yeah, that's right. And they're all wearing the Kansas jersey and hugs all the way around.
One big happy family.
Jeff Hawkins. Nope, Mario Chalmers is starting, of course, and so it's the whites against the blues, not the blues against the reds.
Even the coaches themselves didn't know who was going to be on their team until this morning.
Yeah.
I don't know how they decided. I think they just kind of flipped a coin, and here we are, blue versus white.
How do you like Cole Aldridge's new mohawk?
Yeah, it's interesting. You see a longer due, too, for Xavier Henry a little bit later on. And the opening tip, Paul Pierce with the ball. A long three, a little bit off target. Rush got a piece of that. Tried to get it to Rush. And he nails a three. Oh, they call it a two-pointer. He had a foot on the line. Brandon Rush giving the white team a 2-point lead. Marcus Morris can't get it to go. Wayne Simeon with the rebound. Now here comes Chalmers. The alley-oop. Oh, Julian Wright was flying in. Aldrich will pick up the loose change. Chalmers with a steal. I didn't know they were going to play defense.
No, not too much, I don't think.
And Julian Wright will tip it in. It's all the white team so far. Markeith Morris to Collison, and the first 2 points for the Blues.
Nick was excited about maybe being able to play some offense here because he's made his name in the NBA on the defensive end.
Aldridge, who now plays for the Thunder of Oklahoma City, his shot short, and then picked off inside. This is Marcus, who was drafted by Houston. Of course, the reason that all these guys are here is the strike and the ongoing labor dispute in the NBA, and we all hope they'll get that settled out pretty soon here and let these guys go back to work. But it sure is fun for us to have them here today.
Darnell.
He looks really good still.
Yeah, you know. Oh, how about that move?
How about that?
By Keith. Keith played so well at the end of the season last year.
Max, how cool was that the brothers, the twins, were taken one right after the other in the NBA draft, just in their birth order, too, 7 minutes apart.
And upside down, really.
That's right.
Keith taken first.
Yep. And really good situation for both.
And today they put them on the same team. I wondered if they would or not. They've been together all their lives up till now.
Chalmers throws it up.
Oh, Julian.
They smile back at each other like, well, that wasn't exactly the way it was designed.
Well, it looks like alley-oop is the favorite play of the day, doesn't it?
It sure does. Chalmers, Mr. Big Shot. Every time they play that highlight before every game of him nailing that three to tie it up and send it into overtime against Memphis, and then eventually the national championship in 08. This place cheers as if it were happening live.
Absolutely.
Collison saves it, but to the big dub, Wayne Simeon. Chalmers throws up a wild one. Valentine gets it ahead, and no one there defensively, and Marcus Morris will jam it home.
We're not going to see a big emphasis on defense today.
No, we're not.
Come on, Paul, let's see something. You know, Julian didn't stay around for the national championship year, and I wonder if he doesn't sometimes wish that he had him. He was in the suite after the great victory that night, I remember. There's Paul.
There's Paul Pierce with a three.
And a big smile.
Paul Pierce, star with the Boston Celtics, led them to an NBA championship and was named the MVP. I'd say next to Wilt Chamberlain, Pierce probably has had the best pro career of any Jayhawk.
I would agree with that. Paul's just been phenomenal.
Substitution for the blue team checking in. Josh Selby.
So we've got our first substitutions coming in.
Josh Selby's coming in the game, and Ryan Robertson for the Blues, and Scott Pollard.
Yeah, and Xavier Henry and coming in as well.
The X-Man. There he goes.
Chalmers comes flying in on the inbounds play, and there's the big O with the rebound. Ryan Robertson. Pass inside. Aldridge picks it off. Here comes Brandon Rush. Ostertag sort of did a wave at it.
Well, the one thing, you know, you don't want anybody to get hurt, so don't take any charges.
Here's Selby. That's like the third steal for Brandon Rush, the defensive player of the game. Now Aldridge from Chalmers. Wow.
Nice play there.
Tough shot for Scott Pollard. Aldridge will save it. Chalmers, who of course now plays with the Miami Heat.
And boy, he had a great playoff series in the NBA last year. Hit a lot of big baskets right at the end of periods.
Rush tries to jam it, and the first whistle of the game. Ostertag called for the foul, and he stares down the official like, what? Well, it's fun inside of Phog Allen Fieldhouse. It's Legends of the Phog.
Kansas Sampler and Rally House are the premier destination for college and professional fashion.
Cannonball punch for anyone wearing purple.
Basketball team for the upcoming season. Some fresh faces here to go along with the likes of Tyshawn Taylor, Russell Robinson, Connor Tien, and all the rest. It should be another exciting year of Jayhawk basketball.
It will be, Dave, but Bill Self has some big gaps to fill, and as you pointed out, those new faces are going to have to really come through. Here comes the X-Man over here. Xavier, good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Xavier. You're looking good, my man. Huh? It's like old home week for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's just wonderful.
To see these guys. Max, that's a fun thing. I know I've talked to you before, and your 60 years of broadcasting Jayhawk basketball, and all the times that you spent on the road with many of these young men, you really got to know them well.
Well, that's where you really bond with the coaches and the players, is waiting in the airport or, you know, sitting around waiting for the game to arrive, and you get to be really close with them, and it's just wonderful when they come back to have them be glad to see you and you're glad to see them.
Well, and you see this with your name up in the rafters, retired 60 years of broadcasting. I was kidding with you before. We've gotten you out of retirement here. We're going to have to put a 61 on that banner now.
That'd be okay. It's been over 5 years since I broadcast a game, so if I'm a little rusty, you
Is
have
it
to
really?
forgive.
It
Yep.
just seems like yesterday. Scott Pollard, you don't seem rusty at all. It's like riding a bike. Here comes Shady, Darrell Arthur. You wonder too about the condition of some of these guys. And I know the guys that are currently playing in the NBA, Max, they've been trying to stay in shape, but without an official start date yet to the NBA season, you know, you wonder how good a shape they're in right now.
Hey, how about that one by Darnell?
Darnell Jackson.
He's pointing to somebody over on the bench.
Now with the Sacramento Kings, Darnell. Selby loses it in the crowd. Billy Thomas gets it up court. Arthur, no. Pollard's got the rebound. Pollard was along with Paul Pierce on that Celtic team that won the NBA championship. Ryan Robertson.
Ryan scored his greatest game in his last outing against Kentucky.
Nice move inside by Jeff Graves.
Ryan netted 31 points in the NCAA tournament. Kentucky beat Kansas that day and ended the season.
Selby can't get it to go. Graves loses the rebound out of bounds, and it will stay with the blue team.
Jeff's one of those guys that played for both Roy and for Bill.
That's right. Yep. And Wayne Simeon.
Yep.
Is part of that.
And that wasn't easy for the players. You know.
Xavier Henry looks smooth.
Xavier played in 38 games in the NBA and never did have surgery on his bad knee, but it kept him out of action for half the year, a little more. He was one of the nicest kids.
Yes, still is. Foul on Arthur. He didn't get the memo about no defense.
Shady finally smiles. I thought he's been looking awful serious all afternoon, but that brought a smile out of him.
At the line, shooting 3 is Xavier Henry.
Xavier's dad, as everybody knows, Carl Henry, was a very good player for KU.
Of course, the reason those two guys, you know, exchanged their teammates with the Memphis Grizzlies, Darrell Arthur and Xavier Henry.
Has the shot clock gone off yet? The buzzer? Not yet, has it? 24 seconds. I don't think we've had any violations of that. Oh.
There's the play for you. It's almost like a Globetrotter routine there. Wow. Darrell Arthur. He's gotten bigger, hasn't he? Filled out a little bit on that frame.
Absolutely. Oh, it went in. Good for Ryan.
One of the best three-point shooters in KU history. Arthur again. Robertson has the rebound. You know, we have legends all around. I'm working with you today. We have these great coaches that have come back. Danny Manning, who's not playing in the game today, is actually working with us as a sideline reporter. Danny, you have a special interview. Who do you have over there?
Tom and DV started the game for us today. He came out and set the tone for the guys. And DV, how's it feel to be back in the field house?
Oh, it feels like I'm in a time capsule. I mean, it's just unreal. I mean, this is crazy. The people that are here, the energy. I mean, guys in the locker room, juiced up. Really, you know, it just is an incredible feeling.
Absolutely. You know, having the guys come back and be a part of this, run out through the tunnel again has been a great experience for all of them, because when we leave here, this is something we always remember. Coming back and experiencing something like this, getting the chills when you hear the Rock Chalk chant, listening to the crowd, listening to everyone that comes into the field house that's so excited for Kansas basketball.
Danny, I tell you, if you would have ever told me that I would have had this opportunity again after 30-odd years of being away, I would have said impossible. But this is just magical, man. It's unreal.
Absolutely. Well, once again, we always feel that Jayhawk Nation has the best fans in the country, and this is one of the reasons why. Back to you, Dave.
Hey, thanks so much. Is there anything Danny Manning can't do?
Hey, he's pretty smooth, isn't he?
Great player, great coach, great announcer.
You know, Darnell, I got to say one thing about Darnell. He had the best looking legs of any guy who, and that was when they wore short shorts, not these half trousers they wear today.
He had the thick thighs.
Boy, yeah.
I still remember those.
He was
and he's
built.
still very muscular. 55, it's amazing. Good to see him come back. And you know what he just said? You know, the thrill for them to come back.
Oh,
here,
absolutely.
Too. It's obviously great for the fans, but you see these players smiling, how much fun they're having right now. Last night, several of the, well, all of the players and coaches all got gathered with Coach Self last night at his house, and they just had a wonderful time together.
I heard the night went quite a bit past morning, too.
I'm glad this wasn't a morning game today. Tough, but they had so much fun last night, and we'll talk with Coach Self at halftime, and we'll be back. Legends of the Phog on the Jayhawk IMG Sports Network.
Healthy outdoor recreation helps you.
Welcome back to a sold-out Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas. Sold out for basketball in the middle of September. Darnell Valentine, during that last time out, got a microphone and got this crowd going once again, and he just basically told this crowd that thanking them for all the love that they have passed on to these players who have come back here today. And then sort of almost like a Simon says, but a Valentine says, everybody's standing up and waving their hands, and it's just one of those electric atmospheres that I don't know you can duplicate anywhere.
I just shook hands with assistant coach Curtis Townsend, and I asked Curtis earlier in the week, I said, will these guys play real basketball or will they just mess around? He said, I think mostly they'll just mess around. But I think they've played some real basketball, too.
They sure have. Xavier Henry hits another three. Well, Aldrich will pick up the loose change there. The alley-oop from Chalmers a little bit out of the reach of Brandon Rush. Selby with a nice move on the baseline. Whoa.
That
was. Unfortunately for Josh Selby in his freshman campaign, he really spent the first 9 games he couldn't play, and then he had those injuries that really took away a big part of his game.
Yeah, it did. That was a very frustrating year for Josh and for the fans. How about that tip back by Cole?
Missed 3 from Mario Chalmers. Here comes Nick Bradford. Bounce pass inside, and Aldrich loves to block shots. Oh, Ronnie Kellogg, good to see him out here too.
He's one of the greatest shooters we've ever had at Kansas.
Kellogg, of course, had played from 82 to 86. He transcended the Ted Owens, Larry Brown years.
Calvin Thompson, you know, who was in the backcourt with Ronnie, was also a fabulous shooter. That was the last year before the three-point basket came into vogue. Well, how about that? Woo! Behind the back feed from Mario.
Selby left alone.
We're not seeing a whole lot of defense, Dave, are we?
Oh, no.
We're getting a lot of running, though.
I don't think the coaches are going to say anything at halftime either. Go out and have a good time. Don't get hurt. Nice move to Henry, but couldn't quite finish. Chalmers. You just see when the players handling the ball, they all have a smile on their face, don't they?
Yep.
Aldrich.
Billy Thomas, number 12 on the white. Boy, what a great shooter he was. Oh, man.
Thomas second only to Boschee as far as three-pointers made in Kansas basketball history.
You know, he was on the fringe of the NBA so many times. Yep. 6 weeks here, 6 weeks there.
Played with the Nets, the Wizards, the Cavs, even played in Argentina.
Yep.
Selby becomes the second one-and-done player for KU. Xavier Henry, the other one, as he's picked up in the NBA draft. And here he is on a nice move inside. Selby drafted in the 49th pick by the Memphis Grizzlies. Most points Selby scored was in his very first game against Southern Cal, and he got 21. Hit 5 3-pointers.
Oh, what a debut he made that night.
Yeah.
We thought this kid is going to be absolutely unbelievable.
Not sure that's legal, but it sure is fun. Chalmers. There he gets on target.
The three officials not blowing the whistles much, which is good. They're John Moore, Chance Moore, and Pat Bowie.
Aldrich busted up that play. Time for the pass.
Christian Moody ready to play the ball in from the baseline. Christian's 1.5 years away from becoming Dr. Christian Moody. And he said his class next week, he starts delivering babies next week.
And we said, oh, you're going to do that? He said, well, no, I'm not going to specialize in that, but they make sure that every doctor has that ability in case there's an emergency somewhere. So it's good to see Christian Moody, the best walk-on, I think, in the history of sport.
Well, that's what Billy Packer said that day.
I can't disagree with him.
Against Kentucky.
Of course, Christian's dad, also a doctor.
Right. And an orthopedic guy.
And he is going to med school right here at Kansas. Shot way short by Pierce. Up to Rush.
Just think, Brandon had that extra year, you know, and what it meant to him and to Kansas after he hurt him, got that injury.
That's right. Ended up getting the national championship. That was something. Picked out himself.
Cole gave the ball to the other team there. Joe Dooley, one of the coaches, joshing with him about that.
There's Julian Wright from Chalmers. Now to Rush. Bradford. We see these different eras colliding here too today.
Absolutely. Nick Bradford is kind of unique, you know, Dave, because he was from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and he signed with Kansas and never had been to the KU campus.
How about that? Hey, Danny Manning's got another special guest over on the other bench. Danny, who do you have?
Well, right now I'm sitting with Wayne Simeon, and Wayne and I have the very wonderful pleasure of being around the field house and being around Kansas basketball and the University of Kansas on a daily basis. But this is something special, Wayne. The fellowship, the camaraderie that all the players share, it's an amazing feeling. How do you feel about this?
You know, it's really exciting. Like you said, Danny, just seeing the generations of Jayhawks to come back. For me personally, to be able to play with former teammates, Darnell Jackson, Christian Moody, and Collison, but then have the opportunity to play with guys that I've never played with before. Brandon Russ, Julian Wright. It's been really exciting. And of course, the field house is in rare form again, sold out. It's great being back.
Absolutely. I think when the guys come out of the tunnels, you still get the chills when you hear the fight song and you run out and you get ready to play. I think this is a wonderful evening, and hopefully we can do this again sometime soon.
Yeah, we got to make this a habit to try to do it every 2 or 3 years, and the feeling's still the same running out of the tunnel. It's just a matter of not being as competitive going against some of your friends and former teammates. But again, an honor to be back, and thank you to all the fans for making it great.
Absolutely. Dave, there you have it from Wayne. We'll throw it back to you.
Thanks a lot. Our interview is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Kansas, viewed to be the best. And Wayne Simeon, now a pastor, a ministry called Called to Greatness. He's also the team chaplain for both the football and basketball teams here at Kansas.
Yep, Wayne is on a mission, and he's got a wonderful family.
He was a part of that 2005 Miami Heat championship team.
I still remember when he hurt his hand against UMKC in Kansas City that afternoon. Do you remember that?
Oh boy, that was awful. Well, we've got a brief timeout here. Don't go away though. All smiles at Allen Fieldhouse with 3:50 left in the first half. It's Legends of the Phog and the Jayhawk IMG Sports Network.
The Sampler and Rally House are the premier.
Well, the 52 team honored here, the 88 team honored here. Introduce us to these young men.
Well, this is on your right is Bill Hoagland and Bill Lenhard. Bill Hoagland was from Beloit, Bill Lenhard from Newton, and that's Al Kelly. Al was from McCune, Kansas. So 3 Kansas guys played and then went on to the Olympics in Helsinki in 1952. And then the 88 team comes out.
Of course, Danny Manning there along with Chris Piper,
Jeff Gelner,
Kevin Pritchard, Mike Maddox,
and Mark Randall. There's some basketball players there, and Coach Brown came out too. And here's Matt Kleinman and Brennan Bouchard.
All part of that 2008 team.
So there's some champions for you. Good to see Jeff Gelner in good health. He's had some health issues and fought back, and he's doing great.
All the champions who are playing in this game reunite. Look at it. Look at these guys that are back to play. All those guys playing in the NBA now. All of them. And you're right about Brandon Rush. He wasn't going to come back for his senior year, had the knee injury in May of that year, and then said, well, I'm going to come back to Kansas. And what he would have missed.
I was in a car with Bill Self when he talked to Brandon on the telephone to try to induce him to come to Kansas in the first place.
How about that?
And obviously he did a good job on the sales pitch. And
yeah, he did.
Brandon had a great career here. Scott Pollard and Mark Randall talking to each other. Mark was an outstanding player from Denver, Colorado.
I mean, you can just see the love, too, from one generation to the next. And it's so cool how they honor each generation here.
KU's done such a good job of that, you know, periodically inviting the guys back for a reunion, and they just love it when they get a chance to return.
Ted Owens is retired now, living in Oklahoma.
Some really interesting combos. I mean, Ryan Robertson playing with Paul Pierce and Nick Collison and Xavier Henry and Marquis. Yeah. Now that's an interesting group of guys.
Sure, Coach Self wondering, any of these guys have any eligibility left? Collison able to steal that one away.
I don't see too much fat on any of these guys.
I don't either, no. That was tipped on. Collison.
Not sure whether Collison got it or Simeon, but Collison gets the credit.
Collison, of course, from Iowa Falls, Iowa. Hard worker. Great overall player, rebounder, everything. Nice look ahead, but Henry can't finish.
Roy Williams got those 3 guys from Iowa, Rafe and Heinrich, you know, boy, they turned out to be players, didn't they?
Sure did. Bill Self's going back and forth from one bench to the other, sitting next to Coach Brown. Of course, Bill Self was an intern. He was a student assistant intern for Larry Brown in 1985. That's how his coaching career began.
Larry Brown asked Bill if there's anything he could do for him, and Bill said, yeah, hire me as a graduate assistant at Kansas. And so he spent a year here in that great year. But what he said was really interesting. He said there's no place in the world, no place, where you could do what you did here in Lawrence, Kansas today.
When you hear Coach Self talk to Coach Brown, you know, you hear the reverence. And when he talks to him, he calls him coach, you know, a sign of respect. And all these players just look up to all these guys. And, you know, as they're looking up at that scoreboard, too, when they were doing all the player introductions and then that opening video highlight reel from one generation to the next, we've always watched the fans watch that video, but it was so fun to watch the players watch.
Absolutely, yeah. That's one of the most interesting things to do when you come to an Allen Fieldhouse game. And I like to watch the other team. You know they're not supposed to be watching that pregame video, but they can't help themselves.
Some of the coaches, like Scott Drew, have taken their team out, you know, and I can't say that I blame them. I mean, because it is one of those things. But I think they're denying their players kind of a real special moment. Now, you don't really want your players, though, to feel intimidated on someone else's court.
Here's Jeff Hawkins with the ball.
He was a solid contributor, wasn't he, for 4 years?
Well, he scored 6 points that night. Kansas played TCU, and Neil Doherty was the coach of TCU that night, and he said, Hawk, why'd you have to do that to me? And Neil, of course, as you all know, tragically passed away this summer, jogging at the age of 50. A wonderful man.
And the proceeds from this game will go in his honor. So they've set up a charity in his honor. By the way, Jeff Hawkins now a head basketball coach at Perry Lecompton.
And you know who his assistant is? Mulan Young.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, Mulan's with him.
And a whistle and a rare foul call. I don't think we're going to get anybody into the double bonus.
I don't think so.
Or a 1-and-1 situation even.
At the line, Darnell Jackson.
Darnell Jackson played here from 04 to 08. Part of that national championship team. Last year, going over to the Sacramento Kings was, I think, a perfect move for Darnell Jackson. Had his best year so far in the NBA. I think Darnell is one of those guys, Max, that has gotten maybe the most of his abilities. You know, he just is such a hard worker and such a really good, solid player. Paul Pearson, where's the love?
Paul's having fun, you can tell that. Coach asked Bill Self, Coach Owens asked Bill Self, said, what about a Friday practice?
Yeah.
Bill said, no, we're not having any Friday practice.
Well, Pierce got him back. Stared him down, too.
How much money do you suppose Paul Pierce has made? No. Oh, man. Millions.
Yeah, millions. Good for him. He's earned it, you know. I mean, he's
not bad for a kid from Inglewood, California. Not a great part of town either.
One of 3 players in Celtic history with over 20,000 points. Jeff. When you look at him, though, and Larry Bird, of course, is one of those others. Havlicek is the 3rd. That says a lot. 20,000 points, all with the Celtics.
Kevin Pritchard is working for Larry Bird now. Did you know that, with the Indiana Pacers?
Yeah.
Kevin's assistant general manager. So he's very happy there.
good. Long time he was with, of course, Portland, and good to see him working with Larry Bird now.
Salvier's got a different hairdo than when he played at Kansas.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
Oh, nice play there.
And Keefe slams it home. Nice pass from Collison. Thomas, a long three.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, boy, that was unlucky. And the first half comes to a close. By the way, the score, 63-61. The first time I think we've mentioned it.
We've forgotten that, haven't
we? We'll take a brief break here from Allen Fieldhouse. Legends of the Phog on the Jayhawk IMG Sports Network. Welcome back to Allen Fieldhouse, Legends of the Phog, and we have a legend with us too at halftime here. Bill Self has joined us, and Coach, how special is this for you, for these players, for these fans? This is unbelievable.
I'm blown away. You know, you always think you can't. This place can't amaze you more than what it has, and it just keeps amazing you more. And we had all the guys over at the house last night, and I asked them if they wanted to watch our highlight video because many of them were in it, and they said, yeah. They all gathered in my living room and watched it, and they're cheering. And I mean, afterwards, they're like going, hey, this is awesome. And I mean, they were so juiced to be here. And then, you know, Paul had a tear in his eye when they were doing the intro video earlier. I mean, this place means a lot to a lot of people. But what makes it special is how many people care, and certainly we got plenty of those.
When they came out for warm-ups, it was interesting to see the players' reaction. You knew the fans were going to go crazy, but the players, they just came over to Max and I and were hugging and saying, can you believe this place? I mean, this is just magical.
Well, you know, everybody's got to pay homage to Max.
Well, of course.
I mean, of course. He is the legend of all legends.
I'm working with a legend.
He's the common denominator on the 52 team, on the whatever.
Right.
He is the common denominator. But
you know, for Paul to come over and give me a big hug.
That was cool, though.
That was really nice.
I mean, it's really nice. And you know, I don't know how often we're going to do this, but even Paul said last, Coach, we got to do this every 3 or 4 years.
Did he really?
Yeah. And the other guys were saying the same thing. So.
All the guys always say we need to get together every once in a while. It's just too.
Well, we have our reunion, which is the coolest. I mean, the reunion's cooler than this because it's an emotional deal for just the players kind of that played here, but the guys that are in the league can't come because they're playing.
Yeah.
So this is a good, and early September would probably be better moving forward because the NBA will usually start October 1. So we'll work on that.
We were saying, Coach, this is like a big family reunion more than anything else. I mean, and the family that you can see from one generation to the next, honoring the 52 team, honoring the 88 team, the 08 team, and the way all of those players and coaches are connected together.
You know, the thing about it is, I think it's really cool. Once you play here, it doesn't matter when you play.
Right.
You're a Jayhawk, and that's the respect that the 88 team has for 52, or the respect that the 97 team has for 08. It makes no difference. I mean, you're a Jayhawk, and Wayne Simeon said something to me that was so cool. I mean, and this was one of the coolest things that a player's ever said to me after we won the 08 championship. Dub's in the office, and he said, you know, how great it was and everything. And I said, well, you know what, Wayne? God, I wish you would have had the opportunity to play in that game. I wish you'd have had an opportunity to win a national championship. And he said, Coach, you know what you don't understand is I did.
Wow.
Because
he's a part of it.
He's a part of it. So you know, and I think that's how, you know, the vast majority of these guys feel.
Julian Wright, you know, it's kind of the same situation. He didn't play in the 2008 season, but I remember him being in the suite that night, you know.
He wanted to be in the podium.
Yeah.
Of course, I said, hey, let him down there. And that's about the only time I've ever had any juice where I could actually do something and nobody stopped me, because after we won that game. So I said, Jude, get down here and be with the fellas. And yeah, that was a good time.
Coach, the summer been some good parts and some bad parts, huh?
Well, it's been it hasn't been bad because for the most part we stayed out of the press until the conference stuff has happened. So, you know, you don't like to be in the press in the summertime because that's usually not good stuff. And so, you know, it hasn't been bad, but there's been so much up in the air. The conference deal, obviously, I think is close to being very, very solid. And what a league! I mean, 7 of the 9 teams that 7 of the 9 that will play in the league, not this year but next year, played in the Elite 8 since 2004. 7 of the 9 different schools, if I'm not mistaken. Only Texas Tech, who went to a Sweet 16, and Iowa State. That's right. And Iowa State went to the Elite 8 in 2000. So, I mean, so that's a really cool thing, and the league's great.
Would you like to see it bigger or not, or do you care?
I think 9's perfect, but we're not going to stay at 9. We're going to expand. That gives us a safety net if anything happens in the future. But 9's the best number for football scheduling, and it's by far the best number for a competitive basketball league. People think bigger is better. Big 8, we used to get 5 to 6 teams every year in the tournament. The ACC, when they were at 9, they got 6 or 7. Now they're getting 3 or 4. Just because you add does not make it better. And certainly, I think we know that, but I still think that we'll probably add and get to 12 eventually. And then we've been dealing with eligibility issues. I mean, you know, it's nobody's fault. You know, it's just stuff that we dealt with. Kids did exactly what they were asked to do. We think they're fine.
What does partial qualifier mean anyway?
Well, what it means is they're here, they can go to school, but they can't be participants until second semester as far as practicing. You know, we knew that we're going to have to work through some things, but the way we see it, they did the work, but the way the NCAA sees it is they need more information. And I you know what? Where they're coming from and the focus on academics, that's fair. You know, I don't like it, but it's fair. So we've got to provide some stuff for them, and I don't know when we'll get a final determination. Last year for Josh, it took till late night. I don't think it'll be this long this time.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, you get started late night here, October 14th, and get things rolling again. Give us a snapshot of what the team looks like this coming season.
Well, right, you know, we practiced this morning. You know, we can go 2 hours a week with our team, and so I hadn't had a team workout this week, so I practiced this morning. And, you know, right now, you know, we look like a bunch of young guys, young and dumb, and don't know what we're doing, but they're athletic and they try real hard. We didn't look very good today, and my assistant said, hey, Coach, we're going to be fine. And I agree with them. I think we're going to be good. But there's just less margin for error because we don't have the same numbers. I mean, that 018 had 7 NBA players on it. Yes. And we just don't have the numbers that we've had in the past. So, you know, obviously everything's magnified if you were to have an injury. But I like our core. I mean, it's a good group.
Unparalleled success, though, not only the national championship, but I still think this is one of the most phenomenal things to win 8 straight conference championships.
7. 8 would be great.
Well, all right.
8 would be great.
I guess I'm adding one more. But
yeah.
7 is a phenomenal streak, especially in a conference as tough as the Big 12.
Oh, man, is it ever.
Wow.
You know,
and I don't think we value that enough.
This is Kansas. I mean, you hang banners here. You don't hang them. I mean, you hang them for a conference championship, but you don't hang them for, you know, we won more conference championships than anybody of all time. So, you know, it's a big deal, but it's probably not as big a deal as it would be at some other places that don't get an opportunity to play for a championship, conference-wise, year in and year out. But I'll say this: I think one thing that's been very good is since we've been at Kansas and even at Illinois the last 3 years, my 3 years at Illinois, the worst team that we've had supposedly was a 4 seed. So there really has been unparalleled excellence as far as guys really putting us in a situation to play for the highest of stakes.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the second half.
Well, hopefully somebody will at least try to guard somebody.
This
is as bad a ball as you can have right here. Well, you know, good gosh.
We didn't worry about the 24-second shooting clock, did we?
No, these guys, no. But this is some, I'd say bad ball. It's good, but I predict that they're going to turn the heat up here the last 5 or 10 minutes.
I asked Curtis Townsend. I said, are they going to play real basketball or just mess around? He said, I think for the most part they'll mess around.
Yeah.
Would you rather see them play basketball?
No, I don't care. What I'd really like to see them do is the last 7 minutes. Let the men play like men, but they're not in good enough shape to do it for a whole game. But I think they can for the last 5 or 7 minutes.
Coach, thanks again. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. We're at halftime. We'll come back with the second half in a moment. So far, they started the second half again. Not that it matters, but the white team leads the blue 63 to 61. I thought it was funny that Coach Self was like, where are we going to play defense? And Ted Owens is working on his game plan.
Yeah, he's taking this pretty seriously. Yeah, we did a lousy job in the first half of reporting the score. I know that.
I wonder what he was writing down over there.
but I don't think anybody cares too much. You might be interested to know that both teams shot over 52%, 53% for the Whites, 54% for the Blues. But three-pointers not too effective. 4 out of 19 for the white team and 5 out of 20 for the blue team. And there weren't very many free throws. And the rebounds, well, there were 11 rebounds by Cole Aldridge. That's a number that kind of stands out.
Pretty good right there. Well, I'm with Coach Self. I'd like to see the last 5-7 minutes of this game, or maybe the first 5 or 7 minutes of this second half. Let the NBA guys get out there and go after it. We'll see what happens. But this is more of the flavor of an NBA All-Star game, really, where you play no defense and just put on an offensive show.
Of course, you know, they very seldom call charging in the NBA, if you've noticed, and we didn't see any called here. And
interesting too, Max, that, you know, and Coach Self saying that they might try to duplicate this every few years.
I thought that was interesting.
Paul Pierce suggested it, that maybe every 3 to 5 years or so we try to duplicate this again.
Said Paul had tears in his eyes when the video played before the introductions. And hi, Nick.
I don't know about you, but I was getting chills myself.
How are you, Nick? Good to see you, man.
Nick, good to see you.
Second half started.
That's got to make you feel good, Max. All those guys coming back over.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's like some of those kids are like your kids, aren't they?
Well, you know, we have a lot of good memories together. I taught Keith Langford how to play gin rummy one night in the airport. So, you know, stuff like that. It's fun to remember. But Nick is a great guy. I was so happy to see him play so well. Hey, Brandon, good to see you, man.
All right, second half underway. Chalmers with the ball. With Max Falkenstein, I'm Dave Armstrong. Glad to be courtside with us here for Legends of the Phog. Missed alley-oop. Marcus Morris.
That was an easy one.
Well, you know, especially those Twins and Selby, who haven't had a chance yet to play in the NBA, they'd love to get this strike over with so they can get to work.
I see they canceled 43 exhibition games yesterday.
Yeah, they've officially closed training camp. So a lot of these guys are working out on their own as Paul Pierce hits a three. Scott Pollard had some interesting things to say about it earlier, and saying that he knows what those young guys are going through, the guys that have only played 1 year or not even played yet, because he was in the NBA for 1 year and when they had a work stoppage. And he said it's a little, you know, discomforting because you kind of prepare for it financially, but it's also emotionally. Like, what do I do now? How do I stay in shape?
Oh, absolutely. You know, Paul's got to be, he's right around 35 years old. How long is he going to play? I never have heard any talk about him not playing, but.
Tries another three that won't go. 12 rebounds now for Aldridge. Cole, by the way, has a double-double going with 13 and 13 now. 13 points, 13 rebounds.
You know, he spent most of the year in the NBA Developmental League.
Wow, Mario.
Mario checking his hand.
Pierce again. Sharing of the ball to Nick Collison for three.
Nick was looking forward to this to get to play more offense. He's renowned in his real job as a defensive expert. And he did a great job in the NBA playoffs against, I think it was Nowitzki from Dallas. I joked with Nick, you held him to 40 points a game and played some great defense. He laughed.
Was Nowitzki good throughout the playoffs this year?
Oh,
my goodness. Took his game to a whole nother level. That'll solidify Dirk Nowitzki as one of the game's greats up until then. Up until this year, he kind of had that reputation of fading a little bit in important games, but boy, not this year for him.
The Thunder really did well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Thunder's a team to watch. All that young talent. Collison and Aldridge on that team.
They could make shooting in those long ones. The Twins haven't popped any threes yet, have they?
I think, let me look. I think Marcus has.
Yeah, Marcus got one.
Yeah, he has one.
He got one. That's the amazing thing about each one of them. They're such good long-range shooters, in addition to everything else.
Go ahead.
Darrell Arthur, no.
Go.
Ahead.
All right, Ryan, can you dunk it? Oh, watch out.
Gotta be goaltending. Don't get hurt. It is goaltending. Count the basket.
That was shady, of course. There's Billy Boy. No. That's Darnell.
Darnell Jackson. Blocked away by Aldridge. His pass, though, a little bit too far.
I thought maybe they were going to run a play, but they didn't.
Again, these guys haven't had any practice. They haven't played together at all, except for the guys that have already played with each other while they were members of the Jayhawks. So this is like one big pickup game. It's not exactly down at the Y, though, is it?
No. Some big-time stuff here.
Robertson tried to save it, and it goes out of bounds, and we'll take a quick break. You're watching Legends of the Phog on the Jayhawk IMG Sports Network.
Players coming back, I think you guys don't realize, or maybe you do realize how special this place is, you know, to where we can have a family type of atmosphere, players from every generation. I can't even imagine this, any other college program in America that can do something like this. So, yeah, this is very special. And even though I also want to thank Coach Self for getting me back here. You all know I didn't get an opportunity to play with Coach Self, but you know that really doesn't matter because, like I told you earlier, we're all family. I'm a KU alum, and that's what it really boils down to. Another thing, I just want to say a couple things about Coach Doherty. He recruited me when I was here. He was like a father to me. You know, he brought me into his home. You know, it's tough right here, right now. You know, he's always going to have a special place for me in my heart. You know, I came here, I didn't have a father figure. He was like a father figure for me. And you know, it's truly sad that we lose one of our family members. You know, but I just like to thank everybody just for, you know, having me back. And oh man, excuse me. I'd just like to again thank you guys for the warm welcome. You know, I was telling Coach Self, hopefully we can do this again. You know, I always have a special place in my heart for you fans. I mean, after coming here today and just seeing the warm reception, you guys are always gonna have a special place in my heart. And you know, I look forward to coming back here again. Thank you.
We can add to that, Max.
No, there isn't. That you could tell that Paul was really moved by that. You know, at Neil's services in Leavenworth, there were so many basketball players there that he had a big impact on their lives, and they came from all over the country to show their respect for Neil. And still seemed just unbelievable that at the age of 50, while he was out jogging, that he dies of a heart attack. But Neil Doherty was a good man. As I mentioned earlier in the telecast, he was the coach of TCU when we played him down there one time. And he came back here quite often, sat right behind the bench over there. I can still see the very spot where he sat last time he was here. Paul Pierce has come a long way in polish. You know, he's done TV commercials for the kid that was pretty rough out of Englewood. He's come a long way.
Yeah, what was he like? What was he like to be around?
He was a good kid. He wasn't real talkative. He wasn't real easy to get close to. I feel like I'm closer to him now than I was then almost.
Interesting. Three-pointer from Markeith Morris. Rims out. Now Graves goes to the other end.
Nice pass from Hawk there.
I think of Graves in that championship game in '03 when he scored 16 points and had 16 rebounds.
Yep. I remember Coach Williams ran him up Campanile Hill when he got here. He did. Jeff didn't like that very well. He's really bounced around a lot of interesting places.
Yeah. Wayne Simeon.
Keep your hand away from that rim, big boy. Remember that.
That was at Kemper Arena, wasn't it?
It was against UMKC.
I remember that game, yeah. And Kellogg can't get it to go. Julian Wright has it slapped away. Some semblance of defense here in the second half. A little bit.
Julian's ended up, you know, in Toronto playing the NBA basketball up there.
Yeah, with the Raptors.
He was with New Orleans for a while, so he's gone from the top of the continent to the bottom, or the other way around, bottom to the top.
Simeon with a nice move. You know, I still remember when they would get Wayne the ball down on that block, and he hit so many shots, turnaround jumpers. So much. It was almost like that senior year he couldn't miss.
He was an outstanding player. I think Bill has made from that Hawk.
Yeah. Selby can't get it to go. Oh, nice pass. Hawkins to Graves.
You know, I'm surprised, really, in a lot of ways that Josh came back for this event. But I admire him that he did. Because he had a very frustrating year. Didn't play particularly well at the finish. but has come back to make an appearance here.
There's the big O, Greg Ostertag.
You know, O gave an organ to his sister. I think it was his kidney, wasn't it?
Kidney, yeah, he gave a kidney to his sister.
Which was really, really something. And you have to have a much higher degree of respect for him over that than maybe you had before.
All-time shot block leader here at Kansas with 258. Aldridge would have had it had he stayed another year. Aldridge wound up with only 5 less. And Aldridge has the single season shot block record. But the big O, what a great NBA career he had with the Utah Jazz.
I've got a picture under the glass on my dresser top of Ostertag leaping in the air to block a shot by Calbert Cheney of Indiana with Rex Walters over on the side of the picture. And wow. And I've oftentimes joked that's the highest that Ostertag ever jumped. He wasn't a great jumper, but he didn't need to jump very much.
7-2 Ostertag. Here comes Henry. Throws it up to Collison. Tipped all the way out to Selby. Inside, good pass from Selby to Collison.
Selby had 41 points the other day in some kind of a game. I don't know exactly what that was.
Moody saves it, but to Xavier Henry. And he's all by his lonesome for the jam. Still got it. Still got that pure stroke.
I love Billy Thomas. He's one of my closest friends when he played here, and he can really shoot. We took some trips sitting side by side in the airplane.
Simeon a little short.
I think everybody's running out of gas right now.
There's some guys only playing half court right now.
I don't think Coach Brown is doing a whole lot of coaching over there, do you?
Oh.
He's having a good time, though.
So we have a whistle and a foul at half court, and we'll take a timeout here with 8:59 remaining. You're watching Legends of the Phog on the Jayhawk IMG Sports Network. Fans entertained here. They did 6 degrees of separation, saying that Shaquille O'Neal nicknamed Paul Pierce the Truth. And they said Shaquille played for the Lakers, and of course their #1 fan is Jack Nicholson, who had that famous line from the movie, "You can't handle the truth." And then they said, who else can't handle the truth?
Look at Paul.
Meaning Pierce. It was the Lakers.
He loves
beat
that.
the finals. That was pretty cool.
He's had such a good time.
This place opened in '55. You've been here since the doors opened, Max, and you were telling us earlier about the Longines clock that has been here since day one.
How about that? That's high on the west stands, and that's an old-fashioned clock. I don't know, do they still make Longines? I don't know if they do or not. But anyway, this clock has been here. It's not digital. It's not fancy. It's busted a time or two and had to take it down and repair it. But that baby's been here since the field house opened.
What was it like when this place first opened, Max?
Well,
what was the feeling like here to move from Polk Auditorium to here?
Well, Polk Auditorium, you know, was only held 3,000.
Yeah.
And you sat, as a broadcaster, you sat right in the stands. And here they had us about halfway up when we started, but it was Doc Allen, after K-State built Ahern Fieldhouse, Doc Allen said, Kansas has got to build a field house bigger than Ahern. So they built this one, and he didn't know it was going to be Allen Fieldhouse then.
Yep.
But it was a big one, and they used to call the attendance over 17,000. Then the fire marshal made them change it, so now it's officially 16,300 when it's sold out.
There's something you're supposed to never ask a question you don't know the answer to, and I don't know the answer to that. What was this place called before it was called Allen Fieldhouse?
Well, it was called Allen Fieldhouse
right from the beginning.
But Doc didn't know that it was going to be called.
Oh.
But the legislature, I don't know who made the decision to do that.
So right from day one.
It's always been Allen Fieldhouse, yeah.
Well, and rightfully so. What was Phog Allen like to be around?
Well, he was a great, great motivator. That Julian just didn't hit a slammer. He was a fantastic guy to talk to the players. You know, I don't know that he was a great X's and O's man in his later years, but he really could motivate the team. Dick Harp did a lot of the X's and O's stuff.
Xavier Henry, a little step back move.
And Doc, contrary to most coaches today, he loved the media.
Ostertag gets another block on Christian Moody.
Oh.
And then Rush hits the 30. I'm going to give the Rush and White team 100 points. Both of them will go over 100, well over 100 in this game. And a foul here. And Jackson said, "You just ran into a wall, son."
That's a little more than a charge, isn't it? Darnell looked like he meant business there.
Like, what was that, a mosquito?
You were right what you said earlier about Darnell, though. That's the kind of player. No, he's just a tough kid.
Yep.
Who gives you everything he's got all the time.
Look, when he first showed up, did you really think he was going to be an NBA? He
Oh,
didn't really think he was going to
not.
play at that next level, and yet here he's had a really nice NBA career.
No, he's a real hard worker. He doesn't give you any problems as a coach.
No.
And that's the same way with Xavier. I mean, he's just such a good person. Carl's not here today. Xavier said no, he wasn't coming. His mom's here though, and he was happy about that.
Pollard gives it up.
Oh, he didn't dunk it.
Oh, they're going to give him a hard time about that. Ostertag running the break. Oh, Terrell Arthur takes it away.
There's a foul.
Rush was going to block his teammate's shot.
Chenoweth is here. He's not playing, but, you know, thinking of the big boys there. Eric Chenoweth says his back hurts and his knees hurt, and he just can't play anymore.
Take it with them. You're watching Legends of the Phog from Allen Phog Fieldhouse. Jayhawk IMG Sports Network.
The sampler.
Hopefully the 2012 team can do it. I got a lot of faith in these guys. They're working hard, so give it up for them. Thank you guys for coming, and Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Mario Chalmers. Paul Pierce looking out with a smile. You know what's also amazing? No one's left.
No, they haven't.
I mean, everybody's still here.
You know, I mentioned earlier, but Mario hit a lot of very big shots in the NBA playoffs this last year, and this was the last year on his contract. So I haven't heard anything about Miami re-signing him, but I would say he'd be in a lot better bargaining position than he was before the playoffs, because he really came through with some big baskets. His dad Ronnie played basketball in the Air Force most of his Air Force career.
Of course, Mario growing up in Anchorage, Alaska.
Right. Ronnie's here today.
Robertson gives it up. Pierce. Oh, good pass inside, but Marcus Morris couldn't quite handle it. Keith with a nice block at the other end. From one brother to the next. It'll be interesting. They've never been apart.
I know.
When they start their NBA careers to play on separate teams.
That's going to be so strange. They were even holding out hope that by some miracle, you know, they could both be drafted by the same team with a trade or something.
Yeah.
But you knew it. That couldn't happen.
You keep thinking, well, will this be the last time they play together? Somehow I suspect at some point in their NBA careers, they're going to get together again.
You think?
Yeah.
Now they're actually running a play. A little bit of one. 4 minutes to go, and then the legends of the Phog game is going to be over.
Robertson, 3 no. That's short.
Try it again, Ryan. What the heck?
Tough guarded one over Darrell Arthur. Marcus Morris couldn't get it to go. Rush comes flying in. Nope. Rebound though by Aldridge. Shady Arthur. Here comes Pierce. Pierce has to step back to the NBA line because he's too short for him to go inside.
That makes it 102 to 100. So now they're starting to play for the victory here.
Pierce, by the way, has 13 points in this game.
I can remember one night against Oklahoma, Paul Pierce scored 15 straight points.
Up and Markeith handled that.
That 97 loss to Arizona might be the toughest loss in Kansas basketball history.
Even worse than the triple overtime.
Well, you know, KU had 4 NBA players plus Jared Hass on that 97 team. Boy, what a team it was. And this guy right here was a big part of it.
Another 3.
Aren't they amazing, those big guys, the twins? They can really hit them.
Timeout, Ted Owens. So his team has fallen behind by 6 points. Look at that, they're still competitive. I mean, they still want to win. Here at the end. We'll see if Coach Owens calls one of those plays he's been writing down in that book over there.
Well, this has really been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. The pregame intros took 30 minutes, but what the heck? I mean,
yeah, why not? Well, to see this kind of celebration here, to see this talent reassemble.
You hear what Ted said?
Yeah, we've got to
play some defense.
Starting now with under 2 to go.
Great to have you come back, man.
Thanks.
You know, he's asking me about my book.
He wants a copy. Get him an autographed copy.
I got to get him a copy. I thought I gave him the copy already. Though.
Oh, my goodness.
He said, what about my book? He said before the game, he said, what about...
He's holding out on you, Paul. He's made all those millions. Make him buy one.
Yeah.
He could afford it. Earlier you saw Greg Gurley, who's here along with Cheyenne Zinger, the athletic director at the University of Kansas, enjoying the festivities here. Chalmers playing some defense. He listened to his coach.
Oh, boy.
Julian Wright.
Julian always had a repertoire of unbelievable shots. And we've seen some of them here this afternoon. A minute to go.
4-point game now. Pick and roll. Doesn't go.
Paul.
Now rush. They listen to Coach Owens. That's 2 defensive plays in a row.
Now we're down to 2 points. They programmed this pretty well. 1 minute, 2 points.
I think they're kind of playing now, aren't they? Showtime is over. Somebody wants to really win this game. Chalmers, Mr. Big Shot. Doubled. Shot clock, by the way, is down to 8. First time we've mentioned that. Chalmers with a burst of speed.
Bill said he hit the biggest shot in KU basketball history. They may be right.
They come from 9 down under 2 minutes to go in that game.
There's the Rock Chalk chant. Everybody waving goodbye. The players have really enjoyed this, I guarantee you.
They're actually running a play here. Shot clock down to 4. Pierce pulls back.
Oh.
Got it with the shot clock at 1. Wow.
What a way to finish. Attaboy, Paul. Oh, that was great. And now the players are saluting the fans. Look at Larry Brown over there. That's Joe Dooley and Bill Darnell.
Still 5 seconds to go.
Oh, what a great day.
That's pretty cool. Let's look at it again.
How fitting, wasn't it?
Oh, it's terrific. It's like he's playing back at the old Garden. Huh? One-on-one here, step back 3. Long 3, too. And Brush's reaction like, really? That's only fitting. Well, there is 5 seconds to go, though, in a 3-point game. And Ted Owens over there diagramming a play. Maybe put Greg Gurley in to hit a 3.
How could they script this to come down to the last shot? There's Greg. Look at Bill. Bill's had a great time today.
Now they got to play a little D here, the blue team.
Don't foul.
Well, can Chalmers hit another big 3?
They do and give these 16,000 people 5 more minutes.
They're all begging for overtime, this sellout crowd.
You're right, Dave. I don't think anybody's left.
No.
It's amazing.
They're chanting Mario.
Give it to Mario. Shoot a 3.
That's from the same spot. Wow!
Oh, man. How about that? Let's call it a tie. Isn't that something? Look at them. The players are all laughing, jumping up and down.
That's the ball game. No overtime.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
Perfect. A perfect ending to a perfect day.
Oh, boy. Wasn't that something? What fun. First
Pierce, then Mr. Big Shot, Mario Chalmers. Back-to-back threes. Chalmers hits that one with about a second to go to tie it up, and immediately came in and said no overtime. That's the perfect way to end it.
You couldn't script this any better, could you, Dave?
No.
Well, 16,000 people will remember this for a long time, I think.
Well, Max, this has been one of those special days in a very special place.
It has been, absolutely, and it's, you know, a feeling of unbelievable warmth and respect and love and appreciation. So it's just been everything you could have hoped that it would be.
Everyone goes home happy.
Yeah, exactly.
The white team, the blue team, these fans, these players, these coaches that have come back, even the broadcasters, we all go home happy from
Absolutely, and I've enjoyed working with you. It's been fun.
I've always wanted the opportunity to work with Max Falkenstein. It's an honor for me, sir, to have worked with you here today.
Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that.
It kind of puts a nice exclamation point on my broadcast career, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Here's Coach Owens over here now. But it was a great day. It really was.
These fans are still here. They don't want to go home. They're hoping for some more action, but they are now discovering that, yep, there is going to be no overtime. So that's our final score here, Max. And again, this has been such a pleasure, really, to work with you today.
Partner.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon on I'll be watching you on the Big 8 series.
I can't wait. You know, we got that conference
Big
back
12.
together,
And whatever it is.
The real basketball season is right around the corner.
It sure is, absolutely.
So thanks again for working with us here today on the Jayhawk Sports Network, and we've had a lot of fun.
Okay, great.
All right. Once again, our final score here from Allen Fieldhouse and the Legends of the Phog, 111 to 111. Yes, it ends in a tie, and a perfect ending here for a legend himself, Max Falkenstein. I'm Dave Armstrong saying so long from Allen Fieldhouse. This program is a presentation of Jayhawk IMG Sports Marketing. IMG College, America's home for college sports.